This time, I am cold, I am emotionless, I am zen, at peace, ready for war.
My name is Conor McGregor and I live in Lucan. I'm a professional MMA fighter with a record of 4-1. I'm an up-and-coming fighter, and without a doubt you will see me on the UFC in the near future, without a doubt.
I've lost my mind doing this game, yeah. Like Vincent van Gogh. He dedicated his life to his art and lost his mind in the process. That's happened to me. But
in whatever you do, you've got to be a little bit gone to it. You're not all there. You've got to be almost insane to your craft. Not a lot of people can understand that. That's why I don't know about nothing else. I do not pay attention to nothing else. There was games of football on yesterday, there was rugby, there was this, there was that. And like normal society is like, let's talk about this, and let's engage in this. And I can't do it. I just don't, people are talking to me, and in my head I'm counting something. I'm counting up a number, or I'm knee deep in a sequence on the mat or on the feet. That's my life, sequences and numbers, nothing else. I cannot pay attention to nothing else.
I knew what was going to happen. I knew I was going to get here. They didn't. There was a lot of stressful years, you know what I mean, a lot of tough times. But I proved them wrong. I proved myself right.
What makes you such a good fighter?
I don't know, I'm just curious about it. I'm curious about it. It's never, it's in my head 24/7. There's nothing else I can do. I don't think about nothing else. And that's it, I'm just curious. Curiously fascinated. And I can't stop thinking about it. Everything I do in my life is related to this. I don't do nothing else if it's not got to do with my family. You know what I mean? And that is why, you know what I mean? To be true, all you've got to do is show up.
Is that not unhealthy?
I don't know. Do I look unhealthy? Take a look at this physique. I'm in phenomenal shape, in body and mind. To me, what's unhealthy is living an unhealthy life. To me, what's unhealthy is getting up and going through the same day, every day of your life, 9 to 5, in an office or in a, you know what I mean? That's unhealthy. That beats your mind. I don't work. I love what I do. And that's why I'm doing what I love. You know what I mean? That's why it's become a career for me, because I love it. I love what I do. So, I don't think it's unhealthy. I feel good in my mind. I mean, it's my life.
I'm very confident now, and my engine is keep building. As long as I keep on it and try and not slip and keep motivated. I think like if your lack of commitment is almost an insult to the people who believe in you, and that's what I'm trying to tell myself. I said, there's people who believe in me, so this is what I'm telling myself right now, today. There's people that believe in me, and me having this half commitment, it's going against it.
It's not who the fuck you are.
It's not who the fuck I am. It's not what my people. It's not what the people who believe in me deserve. And I want to give back to the people who believe in me and give them that belief, and prove that belief correct. So that's where we're at now. And for many times I was laughed at and not believed in. But you know what? Nothing external can defeat the internal. The only thing that can take someone down or break you down is internal. Nothing external is strong enough. It's just about making sure your internal dialogue and your internal belief in yourself is strong enough that it can withstand the external. The external is there. Yes. You've got to accept it. You've got to embrace it. You've got to understand it and be aware of it. But don't let it seep into your internal dialogue.
Yeah.
I don't bitch and moan. We all have the same emotions. We have all won and we have all lost. It's a sport. It is what it is, Just get on with it. Look to learn from it, The day you stop trying to learn is the day you start losing, you know what I mean? So I'm always gonna learn regardless of the result. You know what I mean? Win or lose, I will take something from it all. And you know the way people say you learn more from your losses, and that is true. You learn a lot from your losses, but as well as that, you learn from your wins. People can say, let's say you beat a guy, and you're at the beating that guy. You're a winner now. You know what I mean? You're a winner. So now I get to take the foot off the pedal. I don't need to learn so much. I'm at the beating this guy. I'm a winner. You know what I mean? That's gonna stop you. That can take over people, especially in this game. When you're signed to the UFC and there's all media things going on and there's people looking for pictures and shit.
that can take over, that can make you feel like you're bigger than you are. You know what I mean? That happens to guys. You ever see guys that, I see guys all the time coming in that are around this company since day one, and their performances just stay the same. They stagnate. You know what I mean? That's the word, stagnate. Their performances stagnate, and then they get even worse. You know, they arrive on for the fight out of shape, not looking in shape, barely made weight, sloppy, sluggish. You know what I mean? That's not going to be me. I stay ready. I'm always in shape. You know what I mean? You're not going to catch me out of shape. Win or lose, I'm going to be ready to go. No ego. You know, you can't have an ego in this game. We've all won. We've all lost. It is what it is. Just keep going. Keep doing your thing. Keep working hard.
You have to do that. You have to battle with this. This is the law of attraction. I mean, you have to, in the struggle, you know, when things are going good and you visualize these good things happening, you visualize more good things happening, that's easy. What's not easy to do is when things are going bad and you're visualizing the good stuff. And that was what I was able to do. I was able to, you know, even though I was having these troubles at home, and even though I had no job, you know what I mean, or whatever, didn't know what I was doing. If it didn't happen, it didn't happen, but I still was able to feel like it was. I still was able to go into a different, just like use my imagination, like a kid would use his imagination. I was basically just using my imagination, driving a little my girlfriend's car, a Peugeot 206, and I was driving that, shaking down the road, and I visualized that, and I swear to God, sitting in the traffic and all, I visualized, I'm sitting here holding the steering wheel, visualizing a brand new car and visualizing good things in times of struggle. And that when you can do that, I think that really makes that law of attraction work. I think it really attracts to you more. You know what I mean? Because that is harder to do when you're in the struggle to visualize these things.
When you were a youngster walking to school, going home and whatnot, is it not true that people used to pick on you? That's kind of what spurred it on. We used to walk around with I think like a weight in your backpack and things like that to kind of fend them off.
Yeah, definitely walking.
Would they beat you up?
Yeah, no, you know, I've definitely got into fights. I got jumped a couple of times, when I was growing up.
Were you alone?
No, I was surrounded by people who maybe I thought were my friends at the time, you know, but then you get jumped by a group of people, and then you know what, they're not my fucking friends. But
why were they jumping on you? Is it just that's the way life is?
It's the way life is. Kids, boys grow up, boys fight on the street. That's the way it is. You play football and you fight. You go out and get into trouble in these urban areas, these suburban sprawls. You know, it's not that's the way it is. You get into these fights, and that was the way it was for me. I got into these fights a lot, but maybe when it happened to me, when I was getting into fights, I drifted off and was in my head. It was in my head a lot more. You know, I didn't just forget about it, carry on, and stood in my head, stuck in my head. You know that if it happens again, I'm gonna be able to defend myself. And then, you know, going back and forth to school a couple of times, I was seen walking by a group of people got chased. That happened a few times, so I ended up sticking a bar in my bag, and I'm just being prepared. You know what I mean? But
is that what got you into martial arts?
Yeah, 100%. Just to be able to defend myself, and not even to be able to defend myself, just to be comfortable for when it happened. That I was comfortable, that I was able to assess the situation and deal with it the way it needed to be dealt with. Like even when I first started training, and it was time to spar. When I was the first days I ever sparred, and when I was driving to the gym and I knew it was sparring day, and I'd get this nervous feeling, and I'd be thinking in my head, this is perfect. This is the feeling that I have felt before when these situations have happened. And then I go to the gym and then I spar and then I come through and I feel energized. So I said, and I'd always think in my head, now I'm getting more comfortable. Now if it happens or when it happens, I'm going to be comfortable now. And then I eventually got to the stage where sparring wasn't enough. Then I needed to compete. And then when you compete for the first time, then you get that real, even more nervous energy and that feeling. And then even then I was like, right, now I'm set, you know what I mean? But then eventually it drifted from that. It drifted from them thoughts of defending myself to, you know what, I'm good at this, and it's actually something that I really enjoy doing. And when I do it and when I put myself in these uncomfortable situations and come through it, I get this energy that I don't get from anything else. So I kept doing it, and then it's an addiction. Then it took over. Then everything else blacked out around it.